I am Manuprita and I welcome you to the AISS on behalf of the entire DSCI team. In an era of always connected devices, securing mobile apps demands an understanding of emerging threats that exploit both application logic and underlying platform vulnerabilities. Please, please join me in welcoming the panel for securing mobile apps against modern attack vectors. Our moderator, Mr. Arunava Roy, Group CISO, Executive VP 361. Our esteemed panelist, Dr. Uttam Kumar, CISO, Tata Digital. Mr. Govindraj Basatwar, Managing Director, Davrano. Mr. Rajan Arora, CISO, Government e-Marketplace. We will also be joined by Mr. V.V. Rao, Scientist e-Certain, shortly. Before we start the session, I'm requesting all of you to scan this QR, and uh, for the engagement, we will be running short polls. Can one of you hold it for me?
That's fine.
All the networks and all the students and having noise. I hope you all have filled the forms, the polls. We can start with the panel discussion. Arunava, I'm handing over to you now.
Thank you, Anuprita. Hi, everyone. I think the topic that we have is a very interesting one, considering the securing mobile apps against the modern attack vectors. I think the way our life today, it's around the devices in the digital world, the way the usage has grown in last 5 years. I think everything starting from our banking applications to booking food, everything, it's around the devices. So in this era where the users has grown, the changes in the attack pattern, the threat landscape has changed. The way the traditional attack used to happen, those has also changed. So, and we also need to change at our end. So considering that we match with the phase that is going on, how can we ensure that we are safe, our users are safe, there is no impact, the business is safe, and we are doing well enough? So for that, the discussion that we have today, first I have Dr. Uttam Kumar, CISO Tata Digital. I have Mr. Ranjan Arora, CISO GM, and Mr. Rajan, I'm sorry, and Mr. Govind Raj, Managing Director, Dove Runner. We'll wait for Mr. Rao. My first question will go to Dr. Uttam Kumar, to you, please. So when it comes to mobile app ecosystem in the e-commerce face, high volume of threats daily, what are the architecture level principle and DevSecOps practices do you really recommend considering the large scale apps and without sacrificing the agility or the user experiences?
Firstly, thank you very much for inviting me here. A couple of things I want to mention. Today, the apps, whatever you see, is very vulnerable because of many reasons. Because your phones may have challenges. So when we look at designing something, you have to make sure that you follow the right set of practices. So first is security should be by design. That means you must take security requirement firstly, which is basically missed many times. Ensure that all the security practices right from the code, make sure that the firstly design is accurate, you have the right set of coding practices which you follow, safe lab approach. You should look at length of security testing, not just an application testing. So you need to differentiate yourself, ensuring that you have right test cases, you cover the variety of devices, because there are many devices. When you look at an application, you just look at one set of devices, but every device is different, right? And there are different makes, there are different challenges as well. So you should test on at least the top devices that you're going to target, and have a very robust test lab which ensures that testing process is completely taken care of. The another aspect comes is your security of infrastructures, which you take care of it within the applications. Once it is running, once you've installed it, you're running the application, there is a potential, because we also offer UPI services. We have many other e-commerce services we offer. There are a lot of frauds use cases which are existent. How do you ensure that your app, while it is running and it is already installed, is not compromised, is not reused, or it is not misused by other purpose? So you need to ensure that you have RAST compliance and all those compliances that you can think of, right? What is good for business. But at the same point in time, you should not make it very complex, because e-commerce is all about agility. If you're not agile, you will be out of the market. So you need to make sure that your business and your security goes hands in hand. You make the stringent release process, which means that if your release process is 15 days or 1 month, that cycle should ensure everything that you have thought about it is implemented. And then you should release that. Because once it goes to the mobile, it's very difficult to upgrade and do anything with the devices. So those are basic practices. But looking at the infrastructure, how you design it, build it, it should have all the necessary checks and controls, which, in terms of you having the right set of infrastructural element, right set of coding element, and also the incident. Because there are a lot of incidents which get detected, how we are going to take this. Because I've been in many discussions where people just look at taking the incident from the server. But are you thinking about taking some of the, important event from your mobile? Suppose if some application is trying to access your application, trying to make an attempt to bypass UPI, how do you capture that incident? How does that fits into your SOC and SIM? We're able to detect it. So there are a lot of solutions which exist in a place. How effectively that you're implementing it, how effectively you're blocking it, how do you ensure that even if your mobile is tampered, is hacked, how's your app more secure? A lot of these things needs to go through at the back before you design it. Again, I think coming back, while security is an important aspect, agility for an e-commerce company is also important. So you need to make sure there's a balancing between both these things, then only you are successful.
Thank you. I think that talks about lots of things, proper step-by-step approach, and also a detailed thought process without compromising the security, at the same time the customer experiences. So thanks for that. I'll move to Mr. Rajan. I think GM platform is a market, is a huge platform, right? So from when it comes to the mobile application perspective, there are security by design principles, okay? And how do your organization is integrating that, at the design stage from the design perspective?
Thank you. First of all, thanks DSA for inviting me to this event. And a disclaimer that the views are personal in nature and does not represent my current or past organization. Now, when we say security from design, so see, design principle, when I say security design principle remains same. Either you call for web application or a mobile application, it doesn't change. For example, when we say interoperability, okay, scalability, layered security approach, authentication authorizations, all those remain there, whether you're building a web application or a mobile application. So as Mr. Uttam called about moving lift shift. So same thing we are doing. So as you just told that we are right now in transformation and we are rebuilding the GEM portal from scratch, and it's kind of re-platformization into that process right now. We have built an automated DevSecOps pipeline. So both building a mobile application as well as a web applications, which start from a threat modeling process. So we are doing a threat modeling to identify the possible flaws or leakages which can be exploited by a potential threat actor. Okay, and then probably that's the lift shift approach moves towards right, starting from SAS, building a SBOM, doing that and all those things. So this is the approach we have followed and completely automated with the security getting in place, which will ensure that at each layer you have, so it's building a layered model that at every stage there's a check in place. Okay, and the vulnerability if exists in any layer has identified and automatically getting the pipeline gets stops, and you have to mitigate that when you move forward. So the end result, the product which comes out of it, either it's a web application or a mobile application, is actually a secure one. And on the top of that, you do all sort of testing, security testing and application testing, which makes sure that from a functional standpoint, it works.
Correct.
That's one thing. This is the first part of it from a development standpoint. The other part is when you build a mobile application and you publish it for market, coming in from an entity like GEM, the users believe that it's a well trusted application and they trust that application while installing on their mobile app. So it should not harm their system. And when we communicate with that application through our data center, we also assume that the communication is genuine. So we also need to make sure that there are enough security controls in that application. Okay, from both standpoints, it is not impacting. If it is compromised, it's not impacting the end user device, as well as the communication received is not compromised again. So from that perspective, lot of controls have to be, check and balance has to be there. Okay, for example, that encryption has to be there, TLS has to be there, the pinning has to be there, sys pinning has to be there. That device is not getting compromised. If a product is rooted, it should not be functioning. Now with DPDP coming in, the privacy requirements definitely becomes a part of a design principle here. So all those things has to be taken care, and we are doing all those things to make sure that yes, the application when comes out can be trusted by the end user very well.
Correct. Thank you. I think that talks about at the design phase and at the same time lots of governance and monitoring, but also talks about the different layer of maturity of the processes that you need to follow at the design stage and develop and monitoring.
Absolutely.
I think that's awesome. Thanks, Rajan. I think I'll move to Mr. Govindraj. So from the CISO perspective, what are the different security and compliance measures that need to be implemented properly? What is your thought on that?
First of all, thank you, DSCI. Great job, Anuprita, esteemed panel. So I'll share you in two ways. One thing is what are the common pitfalls are there in the mobile application security, and what are the best practices for CISOs. So security is a tug of war. It should required, hackers is also trying to make those security bypass models, and other side, CISO is also continuing the understanding the process and getting the security posture right. So the common pitfalls in earlier era that, if my API calls are secured, I don't have to secure my mobile application. But now most of the CISOs are understanding if my application gets released, I do not have control on the end user device. The end user can do anything with that mobile application. He can do the reverse engineering, he can do the reverse application repackaging, which will impact your brand reputation, customer trust, and even PII. So in the best practices from CISO's point of view, they should think end to end. So not only I have to control if I'm a CISO, I don't have to control only endpoint or server side. It should be end to end, which means you do not trust any process or anything that you are thinking, okay, I can be trust. Should be a zero trust environment. The pitfalls are like, when you do the business like e-commerce, food or mobile banking or fintechs, they are pre-integrating multiple SDKs into their applications. That can be advertisement, that can be payment apps, that can be chat. So this is third-party SDKs. So CISO has to understand those SDKs, the vendors are SOC empaneled, or are they having a proper compliances in place or not. So which means they should understand the third-party SDK implementers, the security posture also, because if their application is also secured, but there is vulnerabilities in third parties SDK, that will impact on overall business, overall the mobile application itself. So there are multiple ways that CISOs can understand. So this is a continuous process. CISOs has to be on their always on, a sort of their red teamings and other things. They have to make it sure that my whole CDCI pipeline has to be goes into secure pipeline only. So I think it's all about how you think on CISO's point of view that end to end, what I see, I can secure it. So if they understand this pattern that each and every point I will secure it, I think that is enough for new era. And now these days, many things are happening every day. Earlier we were thinking of hearing that, okay, we are facing that, the new cheating tools are coming in, like Magix or Freedom APKs, those sort of thing. But these days, what we are hearing is AI generated, Gen AI generated attacks. So the shift is from normal thinking to AI generated thinking also required, because we are actually fighting against AI. So that is maybe we can cover in more talking when we started discussion with all. This is actually a wonderful panel that private and government and everyone is involved here. This is, I think, the best panel I would say.
Thanks, Gopinath. I think the important takeaway is the CISO's effort, the thinking, it's a continuous effort.
Correct.
Should not trust, okay, I have a design is perfect, my architecture is perfect, my governance and monitoring is perfect, but to ensure that those are perfect, those are working as expected, the outcomes are as expected, the due diligence to ensure the compliance requirements are also met. I think that's a continuous effort that the CISO needs to put on, and there is an update need to be done considering the, again, the way the attack patterns are changing, the threat landscape is changing. There is no ending to that.
I'll add to it. See, I think I have a little bit different view, and I just wanted to make sure that you have that view. See, when you're designing some application or infrastructure or anything, you will never be perfect from security standpoint. That's one. Whatever you make it today, just after a minute it gets, yeah. So whatever you're doing, you should not always aim for that it will be perfect. You are always in catch-up game. And today we are living in an AI versus AI world. So whatever you're doing, you are fighting with another AI, right? So that's very important for us to understand. Second is design in such a way that you have, this thing will fail, and how, if it fails, what you do. So you should think from that perspective and ensure that every design that you do, you should also think about, if it fails, what really you have to do. So those are the principles of designs which is applied. Application security is very complex. It's not like, when you're looking at web-based applications, mobile applications are much more complex. Because you don't know the ingredients, how many calls it is making. So I've seen when you load an app, for example, it makes hundreds of calls. And many SDKs are inbuilt. Those are small things, right? You don't know the make, how it has been made, what code has been used, what composition it is there, what happens if they're changing at the back end, right? So you need to really think through what are the points of integrations, what SDKs, what are the impacts, how the mobile is behaving, because it's not your endpoint, right? So endpoint is very much controlled. It's an environment which is, you have considered that it will be very notorious environment. They have different user, different learning, different experience. You have so many malicious things which is going on. Right. So ensuring the security of an application which is on mobile is far more complicated than something which is on a web-based or on a laptop-based, right? Now consider this, we have to do the business again. It's today most of the business happens, right? So we need to think and build a balance. What if this goes wrong? What if this goes wrong? What if my supplier? So you need to be thinking 2 or 3 times more when you're running an app-based business and versus when you're running a traditional business. Because app-based business, you need more updates, you have an access to so many things. Also the privacy comes in picture, right? Correct. Because you have personal data which is also stored. You have your data which is also stored. You have payment information which is stored. You have mobile security which is stored. So you need to have a 360-degree views. Absolutely. And easy to vulnerable mobile phone than a web in comparisons, right? So those are thoughts.
No, absolutely. I think talks about a lot, especially the design part. I think for anything that I'm developing for the first time, how that is going to be mapped to my existing design of the organizations, it matters a lot. And that's
Just one
how
point
the
to add,
foundations
he's
are
covered
built.
most of the things, but with all this what he said, you again have to support business. So you have to make sure that security shall remain a business enabler at the end of the day. Okay, so for example, you have an option to, if there's a vulnerability, okay, and in the option, yeah, can hold on the update, you cannot. Then you have to find the ways what compensatory control you can put in and make sure that business will continue and you can make sure those gaps can be mitigated over a period of time. So this planning, again, risk management is very important, comes as a important piece of it.
So with that, Mr. Rajan, considering that a massive digital marketplace with millions of transactions that you have, from securing the platform perspective, the supply chain perspective, what are the unique challenges that you can think of, and also from the public sector perspective that you can share with us?
See, we are a web portal end of a day running over internet. So challenges remain more or less same. The scale differs end of a day. So any application open on internet, we are like same. So any attack, it can come on the new application, can be coming on our application as well.
But does it become unique for you?
Yeah, so
when
I'm coming on the,
transaction-
yeah, so definitely, for example, as I say, scale differs. For example, for a corporate, okay, if there's a website which is on internet, the users which is using the application can be the users and can be a that potential threat actor as well. But for a entity like us or any similar government entity, country is the landscape, threat landscape. Okay, so anyone can, because they all are the users.
Correct.
Okay, so again, I'm saying the scale differs, which can come. Okay, when I talk about nation sponsored attacks, when you are planning to create such an attack, you again, and from a threat actor's perspective, you need to do some investment in that. Okay, it is not. So you need to make sure that those investments you will get the ROI from a threat actor standpoint. So that can usually always plan on a entity which has that kind of impact on a nation, because GEM is a national asset from a public procurement standpoint. So that the scale which differs makes it unique for us. That's how I look at it. Again, a lot of compliances comes in when I for a government entity like us, for example, as NCIPC, STQC, those compliances are applicable on government entity to be followed. And lot of effort is there from government these days to make sure cyber security is a thing which is taken care at the start itself. It should not be after thought. So a lot of initiatives are coming from government side as well. So a lot of compliance are coming. This is one thing. Other challenges are pretty common to everyone. For example, resourcing. To get good resources is again a challenge for everyone.
Absolutely.
I think everyone can vouch for it. And one more challenge I can highlight is the patching.
Correct.
I am sure that most of people sitting here have some legacy infrastructure running somewhere, and everyone will be facing challenges how to patch them. So this is nothing new to us only. I'm sure most of the startup will be facing this kind of challenge.
No, absolutely true.
Yeah.
Thanks. I think before we move on, I think we can continue. Okay. So Mr. Rao is outside, so we were expecting, so that's why. Okay, we'll continue. I'll come back to you, Dr. Uttam. So when it comes to the current apps on the platforms defend against the sophisticated phishing and fraud campaign targeting mobile channels, so what are the controls or the technical compromise that you can think of that need to be taken care of?
So I think your question is about on mobile, phishing campaigns on mobile. See, if there is a phishing campaign, right, on mobile, it's not just your app. Everything else and your mobile itself will get compromised. The attacker will do it, whatever it takes for them to do it. So I think one is about awareness and education. So you need to do a good job of awareness. That's very important. Make sure that you have a program which runs through, ensure that awareness, and this is also the national interest. So you make the user aware. Second aspect is from the app perspective, what can you do? So when you're building your app, have you taken care of all the necessary controls? Have you taken care of software composition analysis? Have you taken care of API security? So all the necessary controls are there. And when it is at runtime, how is your app behaving? If there's a malicious software, is it allowing you to take control, take over it? So there are a lot of software tools which are available, which you can use to make sure that at runtime, those controls are well implemented, right? And as I said, you need to also have a mechanism through which you are notified that if there is something wrong. See, before this inning, I was with Airtel, so I can give you a little bit back of there are a lot of things which government is doing, right? Which ensuring that if you go to a malicious site, the telcos work. They share a lot of data that this particular device is compromised. I'm aware about the Swachhta program, which is run by the government, right? Where they look at if you have gone ahead and if your mobile or IP address has been some way used something. So there's a campaign which runs and is mandatory by the government to kind of send a message to those guys saying your mobile phone is not in ideal state. So those initiatives are very important, right? I'll quickly touch upon build for failure, secure by design, ensure that you take care of if there's something goes wrong, how do you behave it? Is your mobile app connected to your SOC? Is it giving you some heartbeat saying there's a problem and activity? Then if something goes wrong, you need to also, aware and call the user, because many times app companies are not in a position where they reach out to customer aware about, something goes wrong, they're saying malicious activity, so many things. So they need to have, because many of the companies don't have a call center, right? But they need to invest in make sure that those practices are in place. So quickly cover one, design it rightly, make sure APIs are secured, your composition, have a very solid, rock solid testing process, build process, release process, and ensure that all the principles of, whether you look at RASP or anything is deployed, and have a backend to ensure there's a proper, response when there is an incident which is happening. I think that should good, but I think important is that we must, as a community, because it's not one person's decision to make sure that mobiles are secure. It's a community decision. A lot of work is being done by government, including Cyber Swachhta initiative, and we must appreciate how do we contribute to it if such a thing that we find, including certain, because they play a very important role, right? Something goes on and we have, right, certain, senior persons from here. I think he'll talk more about it, what certain plays. So that's about.
Thank you. I think, yeah. Yeah. So, no, I think, thanks for that. Before I move, let me welcome Mr. V.V. Rao, scientist T from CERT-In. We're waiting for you to, wanted to get more details or, understand what your experience is. So, I will just merge 2-3 things for you, okay? And would like to more know about the experiences that you have. So one is from the BFSI sector perspective, the attacks that the primary are targeting. Second, we would like to know the trend that the changing that you have observed, the pattern that has changed over the period of year. And third would be like the platform perspective. So one is mobile platform versus traditional web platform, how the attacks are trending. So these 3 things, considering your experience, the overall visibility that you have, if you can just share a few things on us, that will be helpful.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for introducing me. My apologies for the delay, the late coming. So I was in some important meeting, then I got late. So thank you for accepting me and giving me an opportunity for the sharing some our experiences. So what we are seeing on our day-to-day activity. So you all know about CERT, so certain Indian Combat Emergency Response Team. So where we are seeing different kind of incidents and different trends, where now mobile is becoming a very very larger the attack surface, because it contains and carries a very lot amount of sensitive information and running a large set of different categories of applications. So if that mobile is not secure, then there is a lot of damage and loss to the customer as well as organization, because many users and corporate employees are using mobile devices for carrying out their official tasks as well, keeping some official data, corporate data, and personal data. Here, we have seen the trend like a remote access tools, so installing in the mobile devices by exploiting vulnerabilities, or due to the different kind of malware downloads in the application while visiting or browsing. whenever user is carrying out different kind of activities in its mobile by browsing the websites, and these malwares are getting downloaded, and are the users are downloading apps from any third party or unknown sources, and those apps are installing, and many of these third party or unknown sources apps having repackaged apps, and those contain different kind of malwares specific purposes. So all these things we have seen, and the challenge here is these latest advanced techniques. These apps are repackaged apps are coming with latest advanced techniques by advanced obfuscation and encryption. So while analyzing incidents, we have seen this kind of challenge. So for understanding different kind of obfuscation techniques and different encryption mechanisms, to understand, to identify the root cause and various parameters. So for that we have published an advisory actually, what are the various kind of mobile threats, and what kind of attacks are targeting mobile devices, and what are the various methods and modus operandi adopted by the cyber criminals or attackers, and what are the various countermeasures and best practices need to be followed by the users for safeguarding themselves while using the mobile devices for multiple purposes. So because mobile is a touch point actually for any kind of because it will become an entry point for stealing organizational data, or persistently stay in the mobile, and whenever it is connected to the organizational network and laterally move to the organizational IT assets, and carry out the nefarious activities. So and another important thing, so these various kind of, because mobiles carry all sorts of applications, e-commerce, utilities, or banking applications. These are all very, very critical, and if that application is compromised, and there is a huge financial loss to the customer, and there is a reputation damage to the organization also. So because definitely what are you mentioned, so BFSI sector, because now it is very matured, and it is a fortified sector. So by taking all sorts of measures and complying to various kind of standards and requirements, and in that compared to this BSFI sector, other sectors like utilities, e-commerce, and these kind of sectors having major risk. So with these mobile apps and the fraudulent apps, whenever user is installing that applications, and this attack trend is shifted to the mobiles from the traditional IT environments. So that thing I can say.
Thank you for the details. I think
Thank you.
that talks about lots many things that we need to take care of, and there is no end to it. I think it's a fight, the daily fight. The attackers, they are being sophisticated. We are trying to stop them. We are trying to be sophisticated, and there is no end to that. I think thanks for that. With that, I think considering the time limit that we have, we do have few questions. I'll just take one, and if any one of you can take that. The question is from Girish Shirude. The question is, which specific technical controls, risk scenarios, and negative test cases would you cover for testing mobile applications? Rajan or Uttam, anyone want to?
See, when you say you want to test mobile applications, you have to understand that it's basically API communication. Okay, so you have to make sure that your API are robust. That's the basic part of it. How API communication is happening, and what sort of testing. One is a basic API testing you're doing. Then you have to make sure that, for example, when you create an API, you create a Swagger. Okay, the Swagger, it becomes a structure of your API. Now it gives you a control that when you apply that control or any of the security devices, it probably Uttam also called out, it gives you a control that it cannot go outside that parameter. So this is one way you can control that.
Okay. Anyone that you would like to add?
I think the question is more about negative testing, right? So you need to look at the scenario, right, and build negative testings, right? So not specific, but you can make list of scenarios which are negative. Just looking at your app, for example, if I'm building a UPI app, for example, the negative scenario could be maybe you're able to log in through somebody else's mobile and make a transfer. Now try and do that, right? Maybe just login itself is a negative scenario, and see if you're able to log in with somebody else's credential and do it. Now, there could be many such negative scenarios you can think about it, which you think potentially should go wrong, and see if those are possible. So now look at whether through an API, even publishing on another app, right? Can you call one app within a frame of another app? That could also be a scenario. So even if you just think through, spend 10 minutes, you can come up with many questions. And maybe very important is that talk to somebody who doesn't know it. So have a conversation with who does not know security. Ask him, right? The best, because our mind is always concentrated the way we think. So when I get out of things and I think through, I talk to somebody who doesn't know security. Nothing, who has no idea. Talk to general users. You'll get many scenarios. That's the best way to get a list of scenarios they can think through. Sometimes, when I go back to my work or when I'm traveling, I talk to the drivers, talk to the, people, because you know the real problem they are facing. And you design, because that helps you in designing your system more secure. What problem they have faced, right? And those scenarios, just thinking with your own cyber team, they'll not give you the right set of scenarios.
Actual user problem.
So you have to have a grounded approach, need to know what's really happening, right? And a lot of things we don't know. And probably Mr. Rao will have more idea about what incidents get reported to him. But there's a lot of things that you can think through that. That's
Right.
my 2 cents.
Right. Yeah, please.
Thank you. You mentioned, I forgot to just give detail about this Cyber Swasthya Kendra, because we are running this center where we are notifying users actually with the support of internet service providers. If you are getting some sort of message like your mobile is infected with some bot or some malware, so I encourage you to just visit the site and download that antidote, whatever we are providing on free of cost, and check. So, and clean your devices. So that is one of the solutions we have. Another way is we need to be aware actually, because we cannot see and we cannot tell which app is benign and which app is malicious. So if you see any kind of abnormality in your devices, better I encourage you to just visit the Cyber Swasthya Kendra and follow the best practices and cyber hygiene practices. Actually, we are publishing on our website, both websites as well as social media. So those tips is always helpful actually if you are practicing those tips, and for installing any kind of app or giving permissions and periodically review what are the permissions you give to the apps. So all those things are important, and while connecting to the applications also. So, and as like this API, this thing, application developers actually should follow the secure by design principle, where, because API is very critical now, so talking between different applications, transferring data, and it is having access to the very critical database and applications while using those applications in the mobile actually. So for that, so, and users also should exercise that. So they should test, verify actually before going to do any kind of task. They should verify, even though you receive from authenticated source, that should be verified actually before taking any next action. So these are all very important best practices actually for ensuring cyber hygiene and safety while using mobiles and applications. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I speak more?
No, please.
Okay, so finally, maybe just 2 minutes. I would really appreciate government because these couple of years government has taken initiative to create social security postures for enterprises, like for fintech and banking. They have created DPSC guidelines, DPTP Act, multiple acts. So when we started DPSC guideline, at that time they were covering only OSWAP top 10. But now as they are understanding more things like unsecured Wi-Fi, right, rogue applications installed on a mobile application, so they are keep adding it, the more compliances guidelines to ensure this the enterprises and the mobile application owners, they should apply this sort of compliances itself. So which means the attack surface is getting shrinking down. So, but as it's a tug of war, more people will start thinking new things, as Mr. Uttam said, they are keep analyzing new things, like as such, there was one new things happening is KYC bypass. So these days, a synthetic ID creation is happening. So these days, fintechs and banking is creating mobile video-based account opening. But what we have seen that people are creating synthetic ID, the fake, videos and photos and uploading it and creating accounts. So that is a challenge because it was happening via mobile application. So you cannot control the application itself. So for that, AI will generate that sort of pattern. What sort of patterns are they are using? If the application using the camera for their own camera or some third party's camera. So there are multiple checks, and how do you prevent that sort of identity theft? Because at the end of the day, the enterprise value is all about the customer trust. So I think here RAS solutions are bringing the right solution because they understand it's a multi-layered approach most of the people are taking. So they are not just checking only, okay, my code is obfuscated, my job is done. It's not like that. So every layer they are checking and they are improvising the new attacks. Let's say there is a dark and deep web, you can able to see new Magix versions are coming, new Frida versions are coming. So most of the teams are analyzing what sort of this sort of malware, because malware is, as a service is ongoing. They are selling as a malware as a service. So they are keep analyzing it and they are keep updating their rules and signatures. So I think that sort of continuous efforts should required from CISO's point of view.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, panel, for a wonderful and insightful discussion on how important it is to focus on mobile security and various complexities of it. Before we start with the felicitation of the speakers, there is a delightful news for all the participants. There will be a lucky draw in which we will be giving an Amazon voucher to all the participants who participated in poll and the Q&A. Arunva, requesting you to pick a check.
I think I will let that happen. Please.
It's Harry. Do we have Harry in the room? I think we'll have to choose the next lucky winner. Mr. Sanjeev Kumar. So please collect your Amazon voucher. Arunva, would you like? Thank you, Mr. Kumar, for being a very active participant. Requesting Arunava to facilitate all the speakers, Dr. Uttam Kumar. Mr. Govind Raj. Mr. Rajan Arora. And Mr. V.V. Rao. Requesting Dr. Uttar Kumar to facilitate Mr. Anurava Roy. Thank you. It was a very insightful session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.